Hey everybody, this is PD from the Spinner Rack, and we also have
Calvin Ellis, ready to rock.
today Elvis is gonna. Sorry, I'm Calvin. Calvin Ellis is gonna lead us on this journey into who?
Bruce Lee.
Take it off. Take it. Roll. What's going on? What's up with Bruce Lee?
What are we doing?
You said that someone
I thought
said
you were said.
something. Someone
I thought
said
you were
something
joking.
about it. No, I
Oh
thought
no, I
we're
thought you were joking.
rolling.
Oh, we're
Someone
rolling.
said something about Bruce
Oh
Lee.
really?
You're falling. You're faltering. I caught
Oh
you.
no, no,
I caught you. I paid
no. I
chicken.
didn't realize.
You turned the car. You turned the
I
car
didn't realize
off.
the mic. I didn't realize the mic was hot. I thought we were gonna make fun of those girls with that girl show. Anyway,
I have to look that up.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Okay. So all the Bruce Lee heads are with me, right? So we know for years there's tape out there of Bruce Lee doing demos. He's pretty much doing demos at these tournaments, at these call them martial arts conventions, if you will. They were still tournaments, but people would come and do demonstrations. And the legendary ones are his inch punch, him doing two finger push ups, that sort of thing. But most Bruce Lee aficionados will also know the clips where he's taking these quick hits at this guy, and the guy is unable to block it. Okay, well, that guy, okay, the Grandmaster recently did an interview, and in this interview, he says that Bruce Lee was not able to hit him; that he blocked Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee made three passes at him, and each pass he blocked. And then, what's more, he made three passes to Bruce Lee and he tagged Bruce Lee three straight times. After which they went to spar.
Mm-hmm.
And when they sparred, he beat Bruce Lee.
Oh,
All of this on
wow.
camera. All of this on camera. Okay. Now, you also have to remember at the time, at the time when Bruce Lee is doing all this stuff, he's not Bruce Lee 1972, 1973. Okay, he's Bruce Lee 1967, 1969, and a lot of people saw him as an upstart at the end when he got there. He's coming in and he's coming into these karate tournaments and he's pretty much saying, "Look, you guys are too classical. You're too married to these forms." And a lot of these guys took it that he was thumbing his nose at karate. That's one, to promote, say, gung fu over it or his own stuff, over it. That's one. And then two, he's not coming there to fight. He's pretty much coming to do these demonstrations, and these guys, for lack of a better word, are his mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
So, they would have, a lot of guys would have probably loved to have got him, in the ring or, got him to the mat, if you will, fought with them. But here, okay, this couldn't have been later than 69. So we're talking 2023, okay, but between that time from 69 to 2023, and no footage has ever come out. Okay, has ever come out. Now, okay, we have the Grandmaster. He's the guy in that clip who can't block. Okay, he's come out and said, "Yeah, I beat Bruce Lee," and it was on film. The only film we have is of him, and you can look at the clips. It's easy to see that Bruce Lee gets through and he was not able to block him. Okay, it's easy to see, and you can even see from his reaction too. You can even see from his reaction too. He bows, at the end of the day. But like, this would have been all the rage at the time if this guy could have tagged Bruce Lee or if he had beat Bruce Lee. Okay, because it would have shown, look, this guy's full of it. He's talking all this nonsense. And mind you, Bruce Lee was, I mean, the guys who were, like, we're talking the cats who would have been uh, Chuck Norris, and definitely Joe Louis. Okay, and these were top guys in karate tournaments at the time. Okay, on that scene, we're training with Bruce Lee, Bob Wall, Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, training with Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, and saying that the training with Bruce Lee made them better fighters. Grandmaster saying, no, no, no. Okay, I beat him. But there's no, so we're like, all right, it's been all these years. Where's the tape? Where's the footage? I can understand if this was just his, he was saying it, but it says that there's footage. Well, we're looking at over 60 years. We're looking at what? Yeah, we're going on 60 years at this point. Where's the footage? So it is kind of disappointing that you would have a guy come out after all this time and make this claim. And again, he's older now. Okay, I don't know what his motivations may be or what his recollection of the whole thing may be, to be quite honest. But to come out now and to make such a claim and you don't have anything back and you don't have anything backed up, and then that means for the last, nearly 60 years, that you beat Bruce Lee in a fight. Nobody knows your name. Nobody knows who you are. This would put you on the map big time if you had footage of beating Bruce Lee, even if it wasn't 60, even if it wasn't 67, 69 at the latest. Yeah, what? I'm going to say 67 because by 69, I'm pretty sure he was in Hong. But by 69, he was doing his thing in Hong Kong. So this is where we're at. This is where we're at today. Okay, you got Michael Jai White making these ridiculous claims. Okay, and then I guess he influenced this guy to come out and say, "Well, look, nobody's checking Michael Jai White. He's saying whatever he wants. He's saying some nonsense about I'm bigger and I'm heavier, so I can beat Bruce Lee. So I can just say I beat Bruce Lee. Period."
Yeah. It's I think I don't know in saying if you had the footage or you're saying I'm gonna add on to this. I'm gonna add my own myth to this. What I think is a myth. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me that if you don't have it on tape and it's a tournament that was taped, it just seems like easy to refute. But people gonna do what they do. There was some fight afterwards that there's a fight that we had that they didn't tape for some reason. It's not Jay's. It's not like it's not Rough Riders telling them not to record. He's there for the thing. So.
Well, have you ever heard of Vic Moore?
Just my name. I don't remember. I just remember hearing the name before.
No, I'm pretty certain you've heard the name before because it's not too hard of a name to put together. Like, yeah, I'd heard of Vic Moore before. Did you mean Victor Mature? Yeah, he was great in Samson. No, nobody's heard of Vic Moore. Okay, the Grandmaster in question. Nobody's heard of Vic Moore. I mean, to an extent, if you had said, "Hey, look, well, who's the Grandmaster?" But then you probably like, "Hey, if I ask the name, I'm pretty certain I don't know this guy anyway. I don't know him anyway because all the big names from that time period you've heard of. Nobody knows who Vic Moore is, and even guys who are into the art today would probably not know who Vic Moore is. Okay, however, they would. You produce the footage, especially if you're making that claim, and it also means that if this happened, he took part in it. But somebody else, at least 2-3 other people, had to see the sparring match. Okay, but the only footage we have is of Bruce Lee. And again, Bruce Lee's not making these claims. Bruce Lee, God rest his soul, has been dead, for decades. Okay, we just have the footage of what Bruce Lee accomplishes, and then we have him refuting it with no footage. And I mean, look, the only reason why any of us are into these systems, okay, and are aficionados or practitioners, fans, whatever you want to call it, of martial arts is because of Bruce Lee. Yeah, you have the guys who might have served overseas and they went to Japan and they might have got into it that way. But, aside of that, aside of those guys who actually put in the service, the guy who got everybody into it, Bruce Lee. And it is very disappointing that someone, I mean, Vic Moore is legit. Okay, this guy's a grandmaster. He's trained, proven. He's legit when it comes to his martial arts. But that type of claim right there is so dubious and so unnecessary at the end of the day. Because all you're gonna do, you get myself included. You get all these guys quacking. Well, where's the footage? It's got to be out there somewhere. Okay, and logic would say, hey, it's been 60 years. It's not hidden in somebody's, it's not hidden in somebody's garage or anything of that nature. And then the most basic thing, is if you had the footage, you would have shown it by now because that footage would be worth so much money.
Mm-hmm.
It would be worth so much money to show an actual sparring match with Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee lost, and it's legit. So it is very disappointing to see that type of action from somebody who is a grandmaster, who is legit. All respect due to him, as a practitioner, as a martial artist, as a grandmaster. but just very disappointing to see, to see that type of story being spun.
Well, now you have to put up or shut up. Here we go from Beardy. Are you ready? You ready?
Look, Beardy? No, not Beardy.
Hey everybody, it's Birdie here. What's going on, guys? Okay, so Vic Moore, this guy again. Well, this guy, who is he? He's a 10th degree karate black belt, and he's a former world champion in karate. And infamously, he said that he was faster than Bruce Lee, that he could block Bruce Lee's punches. Oh, and by the way, a 10th degree black belt, that means absolutely nothing.
Come on,
okay?
Bernie, you're a little
Bruce
biased
Lee hated
here.
belts, he hated degrees, and so do I. It's just complete nonsense.
Come
it
on,
means
we
nothing.
just get to the
But anyway,
pole.
this guy was a karate world champion, so he knew martial arts, and he was at Long Beach, and he was chosen to block Bruce Lee's punches in the exhibition. And I managed to find the clip where he actually talks about this exhibition. And you can just, well, take a look.
Up there. Bruce Lee says, I'm going to step back and I'm going to come in and I'm going to throw a punch right at your chest. Not going to hit you hard, just going to tap you in the chest and you won't be able to touch it. I said, you going to do what? He said, yeah, I'm going to step back about 4 steps and I'm going to come in. I'm going to punch you right in the chest. You won't be able to touch it. So Bruce Lee squared off and got back. Say, you ready? I'm not my head. Ready? All of my training, all of my development of being light, the lighter your body, the quicker you can move. Let your mind flow. Sense the movement of a person before they even move. When I sat on the back of the bus, I used to play that little game that I can read a person's body and tell when they were going to move, how they were going to move, and where. So all this training is ready to come. I saw his ear move. He's coming. He come in, punch to the chest, bing! I blocked it. All the crowd, everybody hollering, Bruce Lee looked stunned. Let's try it again. Bruce Lee got back. He come in for a punch faster, just lightning speed. Boom! I blocked it. Bam!
So, as you can see, he's lying through his teeth.
He's not supposed to do that.
And lying and lying. And you know what? We have the proof now. Here we go.
Oh no, Bernie, why are you doing this?
Yeah, this is the clip. Everybody has seen this clip. That's why I didn't understand it.
I don't know. I think he sounded very believable. You saw the hair
He sounded like an old man telling a fish story.
Beardy, stop. Let's just have some suspense to it. You ruined all my gags. Oh no. Oh, what's his reaction? He blocked it. Look at that reaction he had. That's a reaction of success.
Oh my goodness, it's terrible.
Come on, little Vic. You can do it, Vic. All right, so we did that.
It doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, here's the thing though. You look at the clip.
Thank you, Beardy. Thank you.
Anybody looking at the clip, well, especially to the untrained eye, anybody looking at the clip is like, oh, well, he stopped short. It's like, yeah, because otherwise he would have hit him.
Come on.
Okay? Look at the reaction time. By the time Bruce Lee is back in his stance, Vic Moore is still reacting to the whole thing. And then I've never seen anybody win and then have that slumped over look like, man, you got me. It's just so bad. That video was so bad. They got him sitting back there in the gi. Okay, looking all, good grief. And then he's telling the story, and they got the music in the back pumped up. Bam, 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 bam. I'm like, no.
Say the truth. It's a brother. It's a brother, and Beardy's calling him out as a liar. And then he showed the video after. He's like, what did he describe happened? He said,
how can I put this?
Bah!
It is a brother. Beardy is calling him out, and he is lying. So yeah, I guess all those three things are accurate. I just don't. No, you don't have to say this. What's the easiest thing to do, especially if you actually knew Bruce Lee and interacted with him? I knew Bruce Lee, great guy, very influential to martial arts. Okay, but this right over here, no, because I'm the guy who will talk about it today, okay, and let it go. You got hounds on your trail now. These guys are going to be turning up everything. Where's that tape? Where's that footage? Where's that footage? Okay, because he doubled down on this. That's one interview he did. He did it with another guy, Viking Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
He did it with another guy, Viking Samurai, and he did the whole interview. And he's, I believe, he said, there's footage of it. He said this, so like, all right, so these guys are going to be okay. We're hitting the ground. Who was there? Who was recording? Who's alive? Who's got the footage? They're going to ask the Bruce Lee scholars. It's just, they're like, why? It's so unnecessary.
Well,
You're what is it? You're a champion, 10th level. You don't got to do stuff like this. But hey, it's a different time. It's a time of where you can say stuff, and you can say stuff and say, hey, I can say whatever I want. Nobody's going to know anything. Nobody's going to go looking for that footage.
well, what's the name? I think the thing that would be in play here is something that also goes with something that who's that guy? Michael Jai White did in a demonstration with Kimbo Slice of doing a punch that's not telegraphed. That you could punch someone without showing, like someone doing like you see that start to happen, and it's just like he did the whole thing on that, and that's what Bruce Lee did umpteen years before Michael Jai White was even thinking about it. So it's one of those things where, and that's what makes me think about, going back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, of not portraying a fight where you have someone, what's the name, whatever his name is, the guy, Brad Pitt's character, who's bigger and taller, working with someone who has speed over weight. And the whole point of it is you're in a sparring sort of match. The person tagging you still, and you can use your strength, and you can try to do some sort of grappling or whatever, but they didn't even try to do any of that. They just tried
Are
to
you
have
kidding?
a
That was
karate.
trash.
Yeah, so
That was just straight trash. Even the breakdown for it was trash. I come over, I catch him with the kick. All right, I'm gonna catch him with the kick again. Oh no, he catches the kick, throws me into the car, leaves a dent in the car. I'm like, that was just straight trash. And then where's the Tarantino's thing? It's like, okay, so he shows his move, and then you think, okay, I'm gonna show it again. Okay, Tarantino, you don't know nothing about fighting. Obviously you don't. Okay, Bruce, and if he had caught him with that, okay, I mean, to be quite honest, if I catch you like that with the open kick, okay, the flying open kick at that point, and I catch you, okay, good. I'll try something different on the next round because you'll probably expect it again. That's the simplest of those things to do. Okay, so that was just well, less said about that, the better. Tarantino definitely made himself known for being a jackass with his comments on that and with the portrayal of Bruce Lee. But between him, Vic Moore, Michael Jai White, is like, you guys need to. I mean, seriously, you guys need to stop.
I have to disown possibly knowing who Vic Moore was. It's a shame. It's a shame. That was a bad one. Good Lord. Yeah. Sorry, Vic. The video. I know people don't always like to believe. Maybe it was a deep fake back there in the.
Vic Moore is on record saying that what happened? I think he was saying, well, he's also friends with this dude Frank Dux.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Boy, yeah, I did see that.
Okay, so that's supposed to be a story based on a true story of this guy Frank Dux, and Frank Dux is, oh man, Frank Dux is like told some stories where people are like, "There's no way on God's green earth this happened." It just didn't happen. So, but the two of those guys are friends, and I don't know if some of Frank Dux is rubbing off on Vic Moore in terms of just like making stuff up at the end of the day. But it feels like it when you hear this. But I mean, Vic Moore went on to say some stuff about he had beaten Chuck Norris in a tournament. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. And then it changed to, oh, well, the crowd realized that I won. And Chuck Norris even came over and said, you should have won, that the judges took the fight away. And I'm like, yeah, but then you didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can, that's always, you're allowed to do that. You lost the fight. I was robbed. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. However, you still lost the fight officially. So those type of things are just disappointing. He's, within your discipline, you have the respect of your peers and the accomplishment of being a grandmaster. This stuff, to be quite honest, is beneath you. It really is.
So with that said, we had Cal's very very nice takedown of Vic, and then we also had watch Beardy where he just didn't allow him any second to live on his thing, and we had to destroy him. So sorry, Vic.
See, that's really bad because Beardy will spin some tails himself. But in this,
I never met Beardy. I've never seen Beardy before.
Oh no, Beardy is notorious. Beardy's one. Nobody knows what Beardy looks like, so they'll even joke like, "Does Beardy even have a beard?" Like, hey, is his beard real? Because this story isn't. But Beardy was what is it? I think Beardy was the guy who was telling he put something up there. Let me not say it's him, but he's putting up information that, not Chuck Norris, Gene Kelly and Bruce Lee were traveling around America, going to karate dojos, calling out the senseis, saying, look, show us your kung fu, beating them up, and then telling them, you guys need to get better so we can pull up the level of martial art. And I'm like, there's no way in hell that happened. Okay, they were filming Into the Dragon. There's no way that could have happened. And Bruce Lee died afterward. Now, mind you, that's still a good story. Okay, I would be guilty of spreading that around just because I would like to tell that story myself. But it didn't happen. Okay, that did not happen. And so, Beardy's been definitely been taking the task, for that sort of thing. But in this one, yeah, he's 100% right.
All right, then. So I guess
Good going, Vic Moore. You made Beardy look truthful.
All right, then. Spinner Rack
out.